A Gallup poll released on the day of the only vice presidential debate found that some 4 out of 10 registered voters felt both Republican J.D. Vance and Democrat Tim Walz were poor candidates. This was a chance to rectify that. The moderators began the debate by sketching out a Middle East threatened by the nuclear ambitions of Iran. Should the U.S., as a result of this, launch preemptive strikes against that country? Neither candidate chose to answer the question. Walz retreated into praising Kamala Harris's qualities.
What we've seen out of Vice President Harris is we've seen steady leadership. We've seen a calmness that is able to draw on the coalitions to bring them together, understanding that our allies matter.
And Vance seemed taken by surprise by the question and launched into a description of his family background before eventually settling on this response.
Look, it is up to Israel what they think they need to do to keep their country safe, and we should support our allies wherever they are when they're fighting the bad guys. I think that's the right approach to take with the Israel question.
Throughout the debate, Vance gave the more polished performance, with Walz growing more confident over time. But Kamala Harris's running mate did have to admit that he'd misspoken when he said in the past that he was in Tiananmen Square during the Chinese crackdown there.
I've tried to do the best I can, but I've not been perfect, and I'm a knucklehead at times.
And Vance seemed tellingly stumped when asked about whether Joe Biden won the 2020 election against Donald Trump.
And I would just ask that, did he lose the 2020 election?
Tim, I'm focused on the future.
Those last two exchanges are creating the biggest headlines after this debate. Meanwhile, both candidates being unable to rule out a preemptive strike on Iran on behalf of Israel appears to have passed without controversy. Shihab, Rattansi, Al Jazeera, New York.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.